I am doing my speech today on the Canadian seal hunt. Every spring, hundreds of fishermen gather on the east coast of Canada to work for big corporations to kill over hundreds of thousands of Canadian harp seals. And though a lot of people find this economically wise, my main claim today is that not putting an end to the Canadian seal hunt is hurting Canada as a whole. My secondary claims include that 1, Canada is given a negative image due to different humane societies, and 2, the amount of time and money put into the hunt will hurt the Canadian economy. First off, humane societies give Canada a negative image. Humane societies love to point out all of the bad issues that have to do with the event. They like to point out that over 350,000 seals are killed every year, and that though the International Fur Trade Federation claims that they have strict annual quotas in place to prevent overexploitation, the last time seals were killed in this amount, over 2/3 of the population was killed off. When seals are also killed, they are shot in ways that don't kill them nice and cleanly. They are shot at points where they either sink below the surface where they are no longer reachable and suffer, or they are brought up to fishermen's ships and skinned alive. Humane societies also are the groups who work to get laws and regulations passed and like to point out when they aren't being followed. Canadian authorities claim that the killing is humane and that it is subject to very strict guidelines. But according to a veterinary report study done in Prince Edward Island based on the Canadian commercial seal hunt, they found that based on their observations, there's a tremendous lack of consistency in the treatment of each seal, and the existing regulations are neither respected nor enforced. Humane societies are also planning on using the 2010 Winter Olympics located in Vancouver to negatively display the hunt. They have created a logo that is using the 5 known Olympic colors that make up a person who is clubbing a seal. They also are constantly writing and calling the Olympic committees to draw attention to the subject and hope that it'll be more brought up during the Olympics this spring or winter. My second main point is that the amount of time and money poured into the hunt will hurt the Canadian economy. In 2004, it was estimated that over $400,000 was provided by the Canadian government to companies for the development of seal products. This is a large sum of money for the government to pour into different companies that don't benefit the government itself, but only the individual companies. Due to the fact that so many people are now aware of the inhumane treatment, the demand for seal fur and other products has majorly dropped. Prices for a seal pelt, which is like young harp seal fur, now ranges from $8 to $22. And according to the International Fund of Animal Welfare, the global market for seal fur is saturated, causing prices to drop by almost half. More importantly, there is no economic reason for the hunt to continue. Canada is not going to benefit from profits due to the low demand. Meanwhile, people are constantly looking down on Canada until they stop the hunt. I hope you now agree with me in saying that not stopping the Canadian seal hunt is hurting Canada. Thanks.
All right, organizationally, the signposting's fine. The secondary claims are phrased as claims of fact, so that part's good. The main proposition, though, is very convoluted in the way it's phrased. You've got a negative term at the very beginning, so it ends up sounding a little bit contradictory. There are simpler ways to express that idea, and when you come back to it at the end, although I think it's a little bit clearer at the end, it is still a bit confusing. So altering the phrasing, I think, would be a good idea. You've got 2 basic supporting points. They're pretty simple. The first one, I think we needed a few more examples of how the animal rights groups or the humane societies are exploiting the seal hunt, and what kinds of campaigns they've used to perhaps hurt business in Canada. The closest you come to having something that's precise like that is the example of the Vancouver Olympics, and I like that. I didn't get a source citation on that. I believe that it's true. I don't have any doubt on that. I just think you should be a little bit more consistent about it. On the second point, you talk about some economic issues. I thought you did an okay job presenting some information on those points. It did seem at one point, though, that the reason for the decline in seal fur prices had less to do with the negative images that Canada has because of the seal fur trade and more to do with there being a glut of seal fur on the market. So I'm not sure that statistic really supports the claim that you're making. I thought other than that, the generalizations are pretty good within the narrow range that you're operating, and you did a nice job presenting the information. It was a little short, so there's plenty more time for you to explain some of this in more detail. All right, thank you.